I'm back with another eco video, and this time we're going to talk about how to get the most skill points out of your food and diet. And there's a couple hidden advantages I want to tell you about, so you can get the most out of your eco food. For a long time in the game, since the beginning, eco has had a system where you gain skill points based on the food you eat. Now, just to put in context the power of skill points, I want to go over a couple effects that they have on your player. One is that skill points contribute directly to how fast you will gain stars in the game. The stars allow you to learn new specialties and create new items. On a lot of short-term servers, ones that run 30 days or less, this can be really important and allow you to learn a series of specialties to advance your character. The accumulation of stars takes longer as you acquire each one because it requires more skill points to earn the next star. But those skill points are still a direct contributor to how fast you're going to learn those specialties. Skill points also contribute to how quickly your character will advance in levels within a given specialty. When you learn a new specialty, we'll say masonry for example, you start at level 1. As you make products that use that specialty, it will apply leveling points to your character to move you up in level, and make you both more efficient at making those things, and will unlock new items that you're able to craft. Your skill points contribute directly to how fast your character will level up within that specialty. So really, your skill points are contributing to two major factors: how quickly you will earn stars, and how quickly your character will level up in any given specialty. So now, let's talk about how food can contribute to those skill points. Like I said, food has always been a contributor to skill points in the eco game, but there were only two factors to consider regarding this food and skill point association. It was the tier of food and your nutritional balance. When I say tier of food, and it's how other people refer to it, it relates directly to the cooking and baking skills and what foods those skills create. The lowest tier of food, which might be considered tier 0, is just eating raw food. You pick a tomato or papaya and eat it. That will give you some points in the nutritional categories, but not much. Players can also create some basic charred food from those raw veggies. I refer to it as burnt food. I actually borrowed that description from someone I used to game with a lot, but I like it because it represents that very low tier of low quality food. Campfire cooking is the lowest tier of actual cooked food, and you can start getting some decent skill points just from that. And the food items progressively get better with cooking, and then with advanced cooking. Each one of those skill tiers represents a tier of food, and the same can be said for baking and advanced baking. Generally, the higher the tier of food you eat, the more skill points you're going to get. The other factor that's been around a while is the nutritional balance. Each food contributes in varying degrees to carbohydrates, protein, fat, and vitamins. What you want to try to do is to create a diet that provides the closest balance of equal points across all of those four things. The closer the point spread, the higher your percentage of bonus. So the tier of food and the nutritional balance might be the most important factors in skill points. And it's the two things that we've had for a while. And I say might be because there are 3 other factors that contribute to strategies that could potentially outweigh the contribution of the long-standing tier and balance factors. Tastiness is a new factor the eco devs introduced. Each player that enters the server is given a random rating against all the foods regarding whether they find them delicious or horrible. There's actually 5 ratings of food, which are delicious, good, okay, bad, and horrible. The tastier you find the food, the more it will contribute to your tastiness bonus. And the foods that you find bad or horrible are probably best not eaten at all, and will decrease that tastiness bonus. There's a little exception to that I'll talk about in a moment, but in general, you don't want to be chowing down on food that you think tastes bad. Now, you heard me say the only way to know whether you're going to find a food tasty or not is to actually try it. So no matter what the item is, it's always a good idea to try to at least try it once. After that, you'll know whether it's something your character likes to eat or not. Now, you can already see this tastiness factor needs to be considered along with your nutritional balance. You can't just eat a bunch of foods you find delicious because it could wind up giving you a very imbalanced diet and hurting your overall skill points. When possible, you want to eat those foods you really like. But there's another factor they introduced that has to be balanced along with those two things of balanced diet and tastiness, and that is variety. Variety is a really interesting one because I've seen players largely ignore both the nutritional balance and the tastiness and go for a strategy where they just eat the largest variety of food possible. The higher the number of different things you currently have in your stomach, the higher your variety bonus. And so these players will not pay too much attention to the tastiness of the food. They'll eat anything that's delicious, good, or just okay, and only steer away from anything they think is bad or horrible. This is actually a pretty viable strategy, and some folks have felt they can get the most skill points by following this method. Personally, I just consider it as one of the other factors, and I'm generally focused on trying to eat the highest tier and balance the diet. But try it out for yourself. I'd be curious to know if you've been able to rack up some serious bonuses by just eating all the charred foods you at least find okay, and any of the other tier 1 foods that you don't hate, as long as they put something different in your stomach. The larger your variety, the larger your bonus, so it might actually really work. Now there's one more new factor they introduced into the game, and it's one that I actually slept on a little bit until pretty recently. And I'm very disappointed with myself because it could be the simplest thing to do that will wind up giving you the most skill points, and that is your cravings. I didn't really notice it for a long time because it only shows up as this little icon in your main screen on the lower left, just to the side of your food skill point number. The little image is some sort of food. The default icon seems to be a loaf of bread, but when that changes to some other kind of food, that represents something that your character is craving. As it turns out, it's vitally important to satisfy your cravings. Now, if you don't, it's not necessarily going to hurt your character in some way, but satisfying those cravings will give you a huge bonus to your food skill points. Each craving you satisfy will add 10% to your skill point bonus. And so far, I've seen up to 3 cravings being active at one time. Let me know if you've ever seen more than 3 though. I'd really be curious about that. So when that little food icon changes and pops up, you should immediately go out and acquire that food and eat it. You only need to eat one of that food to get the craving bonus. Eating more than one really doesn't do anything other than contribute as any other food. Keeping a 30% bonus to your skill points from food is pretty big and is usually right around what I'm able to achieve with the nutritional balance bonus. And it's so easy, you just eat one thing. So if you haven't really been satisfying your cravings or didn't know why that little food icon kept changing, that's it. So get that food and also get a chance to win a free copy of Eco, sponsored by the good people of DadSpeed. During this month of December, until the holidays, I'm giving away a free copy of Eco. All you have to do is comment to any one of the videos advertising this giveaway during the month of December for a chance to win. You want multiple chances to win? Then provide one comment on each video. It's a great way to give yourself a gift for the holidays, or provide it as a gift to someone else so they can jump in the game and play with you. I love it when I see couples and friends playing together. Give me a comment about that if you like grouping with other people. Like, subscribe, win Eco, and I'll be talking to you later.